Draw, or were you disappointed not to win?
Yeah, well, I think we're disappointed not to win. I think when you perform well and you get yourself into a game, and good parts of the game are going your way, I think you're always going to be disappointed to come a little bit short. Are we pleased with the level of performance? We are. We were good at times today, but we still ultimately made some mistakes that have cost us a chance of what would have been a very, very important win. So, a little bit of everything in the game. A little disappointed not to come away with a win or draw, but at the same time pleased with large parts of our game.
Certainly no shame in losing by 3 points to the champions of Europe, though.
No, that's right, and I think that the positive is that we've come away in a very tough Heineken pool, and we've got a bonus point. They can be very, very important. We've also held Leinster to not getting a winning bonus point, so it's a 3 point turnaround for us when we come to Sandy Park, and that's very much how we've got to view it. We didn't come here to try and do damage limitation. We came here to try and win the game. I think we showed that by the way we played. And as I said, I think we're pleased with our endeavour, but I think the players, and Tommy will tell you, I think the players felt there was a win there for us if we could just done a couple of things a little bit better.
How special was that today for you, Tommy?
Yeah, it was good, all right. It's my first time playing back in Ireland since I left 7 or 8 years ago, but it wasn't necessarily all about that. It was just the fact that it was a huge game for us as a club. I think just playing the Heineken Cup champions in their own yard as an introduction to the competition. So yeah, it was a huge occasion, and that's what we want to be part of. And I think we just showed today that we're not afraid of being there. We just really wanted to go for it. And like Rob said, yeah, we do feel a little bit disappointed in some stuff. You have to give credit to Leinster that we got into their 22 a couple of times in the second half, and they turned us over probably 3 or 4 times and relieve the pressure on themselves. And that's probably part of why they're Heineken Cup champions, but it's still a little bit disappointing for us to let them off the hook a little bit like that. So there are a few things that we feel that we've maybe left behind us on the pitch a little bit. But there's an awful lot of positives, like Rob has said, it's 4 points to 1 out of this, so that could be crucial later on in the pool. Had it been 2-2 after it, obviously that would have been another big bonus for us, considering when it's only a 6-game pool, every point counts. So yeah, there's still a lot of positives for us to take out of the game, and we'll hopefully look to build on it.
You matched them very well up front, didn't you, this afternoon?
Yeah, well, we just came here to give as good an account of ourselves as we can, and just really go for it and try and impose ourselves on the game. Like Rob says, it wasn't a damage limitation exercise, so there's no point in going into the Heineken Cup and doing that. I think the same as we said when we got into the Premiership, it wasn't just a case of going into it and trying to contain teams and just trying not to lose. We go and play to win, and we did that today, but we've come up a little bit short, and we'll try and learn from it, try and move on.
The fact you beat Harlequins last week, did that give you massive confidence coming into today?
Yeah, it was a good bit of momentum, particularly coming on out of the game we had against Leicester. It turned us in the right direction, I think, coming here today. So yeah, it did build a good bit of confidence. So it's like you'd think hopefully we're moving in the right direction, that we can keep improving.
Was the experience as expected for you, or was there a couple of surprises?
No, it was what we expected really. It was just a high tempo, really intense game of rugby with big collisions. There wasn't a whole lot of surprises out there. We had done our analysis in the game, as we always have done. So yeah, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of surprises. We went hard at it. We filled the pitch in front of them all day in defence. Made them work hard for what they had to do, and they made us work hard for what we got out of the game. So we were never really out of it by any stretch, and we always felt that there was something there for us to go for, and we always felt that the pressure was really on them. Once we stayed within that 3 points of them all the time, a try was going to put us in the lead, and who was the pressure going to be on them? Leinster were the Heineken Cup champions playing at home, so the pressure was probably on them to perform more so than us.
It seemed very frantic, playing at a huge pace. Did you yourselves notice that? Is that a step up from what you normally play?
Yeah, there probably was a little bit of a step up. The Heineken Cup is a step up in standard really from all the domestic leagues, so you're just getting nearer and nearer to international rugby all the time. So yeah, there was a little bit of a step up, but like I say, it wasn't really a surprise for us. There wasn't any surprises in the game for us today. It's something we knew we were going to have to step up to and play 80 minutes of flat out rugby. That if you took a rest at any time or felt comfortable at any stage, then you were probably going to get punished.
Another easy one next week as well, guys. How special will that be?
I think the whole thing about getting the Heineken Cup has been a fantastic reward for the team and for the club and for the supporters. And I think, you know, Clermont Auvergne at home, you know, at our place, is another one of those fantastic things for our supporters to get involved with. I mean, you know, I've said a few times, we didn't just arrive in the Premiership and it was a dream and we just woke up here. We've worked a long time to get here, and we've worked very hard to qualify for the Heineken Cup, and now we're going to work very hard to be a successful part of it. And you know, next week is in some ways probably a tougher challenge than today, because obviously there is the excitement, there is that first up, kind of a little bit of a fear factor, a little bit of a motivator that obviously the players have had. You know, now they've got to get over the bumps and bruises for a couple of days, and they've got to get ready to face another massive physical challenge. And you know, as I say, we like to think of them as rewards, but at the same time, we know it's going to be tough. But we've had 6 tough games, and I think if anything, what today showed was that probably we got on the back of a run of tough games and were kind of pretty battle hardened. And I think Leinster are probably a little bit undercooked, you know, for various reasons. The Irish internationals not being around for a little while, and they have had a number of injuries and a little bit of a chop and change side. I think we benefited from that today. And we've got to make sure that, you know, we kind of keep using our kind of consistency of performance as our biggest weapon.
You know, it is a tough pool, but have you seen enough today to be confident that you can be in the mix at the end in January?
Well, I think you have to believe that. You know, you start any competition, and you, like I say, as Tommy said, you know, we go for it flat out, and you take out of it what you can. I mean, at the minute, you know, we're going to hammer into the Clermont Auvergne game as hard as we can. We'll put the best team we can, and we'll give it a real crack. You know, and we'll play, and we'll make the passes that we probably didn't make today. That would have opened up a little bit more for us. But that'll come as we become comfortable in at this level of competition. You know, I still think we were a little hesitant in the first quarter of the game today, and we could have made things a little bit easier for ourselves earlier on. But to be fair to the players, they were learning as they went along, and they got used to it very quickly. And we've just got to make sure that happens next week. You know, that we're a bit better next week than we were today, because we've had a great experience.